Good evening, USFFL. I hope you all have had a Merry Christmas. We're in the middle of week 15 here in football land, and we've got a good one on tap for you tonight. A couple of teams, AFC playoff contenders. We get to see who's got coal and who's got gifts in their stocking at this time of year. We have the Indianapolis Colts, 5-8 so far, but that's good enough for a three-way tie for first place. In the AFC South, they're on the road tonight, taking on the 9-4 Denver Broncos. It is AFC playoff contender action, USFL live tonight. All right, everybody, welcome back. Let me get this broadcast set up finalized here. All right, links to both watch and join are present. I saw that Dave had provided us the game number up here. For the record, we do want that posted publicly. So let me do that real quick. Colts at Broncos. Not everybody would prefer to watch the broadcast. They may want to just connect themselves, and I like to make sure people have that option. So we should be good to go here. We're back here. Let's get that game link set up. All right, let's get my face off the screen, and we should be good to go. It says we're waiting on the two teams. I'll have to make sure they've both connected. It looks like they have because I see the word coin toss. All right, let's see if they've started the game because so far nothing. I'll try to connect again. We'll get it figured out. We always do one way or another. What on earth have we done here? All right, there we go. In task, let's try this again. Oh, looks like John has not joined yet. So that's the issue. Okay. All right, 1 second here. Let's do this. All right, so it looks like there might be a short delay, so let's go ahead and get that pulled up here. We're gonna, if this game comes on, we're gonna broadcast it, so we'll keep our eye for it. We're in a short delay for the time being, and we will keep an eye on the chat. Okay, we are starting to get set up here as we do have a game underway. Bear with me a second. Okay, we are starting to get set up here as we do have a game underway. Bear with me a second. All right, we should be good to go now. My apologies on that. I probably should have checked it when he posted the second game number. Just a little miscommunication where it was posted and didn't see the answer to what I was looking for. Not a big deal. We're good to go here. Indianapolis Colts at the Denver Broncos. Opening possession here of the game. The Colts with first possession, 1st and 10 right now at their own 25-yard line. 3 wide receivers. Quarterback's going to be Anthony Richardson. He is out of the pistol. He's got Jonathan Taylor beside him. And here's an off-tackle run draw to him, but the defense was ready for that one. Broncos called run, got a 2-yard loss on the play. Tackle by Cody Barton. Jonathan Taylor loses those 2 yards at 2nd down and 12. Drive began at the Indianapolis 30. This will be the 7th play of the drive. Indianapolis is at the 27 of Denver. Safety up close for Denver, showing blitz on 2nd and 12. Here's a pitch out. Jonathan Taylor running again, going for the corner. Defense looking pass. Taylor gets his card, and he's got the corner. Good run, Jonathan Taylor, up the sidelines along the left side and all the way down to the 8-yard line. 1st and goal there for the Colts. And again, 3 wide receivers split out, 1 halfback. Quarterback Anthony Richardson is out of the pistol. Broncos set up in a 3-4 defense. Safety stays back on this play. And here's an end run quarterback. Anthony Richardson around the left edge, and not as good as the halfback. Richardson good for 3 yards on that play. Tackle by the outside linebacker, Benito, and it's 2nd and goal at the 5. Colts come into the game 5-8. They are coached by John Freeze. Broncos come into the game 9-4. They are coached by David Kukofka. Tight end offense. Richardson out of the pistol. Broncos guess run. It's pass. Richardson looking short, and it is no good. Incomplete. Tried to hit Josh Downs. But in the 4-man column, Denver's defense, good enough. And to that point, they are rated good against the pass. Good to excellent against the run. We've now got a 3rd and goal at the 5. So it's the money down. 4 wide receivers are going to split out. Richardson again out of the pistol. 3-4 defense here by the Broncos. On 3rd and goal at the 5, defense gets his run. Back to pass. Short to Adonai Mitchell. He's got it. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Adonai Mitchell. A 5-yard touchdown grab. PJ Locke on the tackle, but not good enough. Defender X or 15. White Die wins it, and the Colts are up after the extra point, 7-0. 10:30 left to go, first quarter. And after a touchback, the Broncos will open their first drive from the 30-yard line. Indianapolis defense, not quite so good. They're rated average to poor against the run and poor against the pass. First down run off tackle. And over the left side, Javonte Williams is good for 4. That'll make it 2nd and 6. Safety up close shows blitz here for the Colts. Flat pass. This goes to Mims. He's got it left side, and it's first down yardage. Bo Nix to Marvin Mims, good for 9. 6 on the white die, stole those yards in the zero-man column. Broncos out to their 43 now. 2 tight end offense. Colts looking run, but Nick's back to pass. He's looking short, and he's got his man. There's a penalty. It's first down pass, and a personal foul against the defense. Devon Vele with a 12-yard reception. Add 15 yards from there, and the Broncos just like that. 1st and 10 in field goal range at the Indianapolis 30. From right here, barring variable risk, you're looking at a 2 through 10 field goal. Back to pass. Nix looks deep. It's going for Cortland Sutton, and he has got it. First down yardage inside the 5. Brought down at the 2. 28-yard hookup. Nix to Sutton, and it's 1st and goal Broncos at the 2-yard line. Nix coming out here hot, 3 out of 3 to start the game. Broncos coming out with a full house set here. Broncos are at 9-4 on the season. They would be a playoff team right now. They're still very much alive for the AFC Western Division. They are 1 game behind the 10-3 Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs will play Cleveland later this week. The Colts situation, far more complex. We'll get into that as the broadcast goes along. Still 1st and goal at the 2, waiting on a defensive play call. Let me make sure we haven't had a disconnect. There we go. 4-3 defense set up here. Colts guessing run, but back to pass again. Nix into the end zone. That's a touchdown. Cortland Sutton. And Nix does complete the drive. 70-yard touchdown drive. Culminating in a short touchdown pass. Nix to Cortland Sutton. Extra point by Lutz is good, and we're tied up at 7. Both teams successful on their opening possession. 8:24 left on the first quarter clock as the Colts, after a touchback, will now begin again from their own 30. Colts quarterback situation is a little unique. On the season, they are carded for both Anthony Richardson and Joe Flacco to take about 50% of the snaps apiece. Their actual carded attempts are 16 apart. Taking a look at how the Colts have executed this year, you can see he's trying to keep Flacco in probably as much as he can. He's starting the game here with Richardson and Flacco to come in and bail him out later. Flacco's rating is about 15 over what Richardson has produced, and the card backs that up. So my guess is we'll see Flacco before this one's over. 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs here for the Colts on offense. Richardson remains in the pistol. And the Broncos set up a nickel defense here on 1st and 10. Defense crashes. They're keying on the running back Taylor, but back to pass. And Quentin Johnson's looking short, gets the ball off. It's going to Michael Pittman, and he's got the catch and first down yardage. Michael Pittman out to the 46-yard line. A pickup of 16 yards in his wrong column. And Anthony Richardson, despite a card at 45% completions, is 4 of 5 to begin the game with 49 yards. Tight end offense now on 1st and 10. Another key on the running back to pass. Richardson looking deep. There's nobody home. Looks like we got everybody in the short zone. 0-man column. This is going to Josh Downs. That pass is going to be caught by Downs all the way across the 20, actually down to the 22. A pickup of 32 on the play. And just like that, Colts on the fringe of the red zone, 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line. Safety up close, showing blitz for the Broncos here. Out of the 3-4. Colts are in a tight end set. Handoff off tackle, left side. That goes to Jonathan Taylor. He got room through the linebackers and into the secondary. Touchdown! Jonathan Taylor in his wrong column is carded at a plus 22. And from the 22-yard line, he scampers to the end zone for the touchdown. And the Colts make good on their second drive. Extra point is up and good. And at the 6:54 mark of the first quarter, you might say these two horses are off to the races. You see what I did there, right? Colts, Broncos. All right. Dad joke aside. Oh, my symbol is over there. I should have had it handy for that dad joke. 1st and 10 at the 27. Broncos will now get their second drive. They begin with a 2 tight end offense. Back to pass on 1st down, looking short. Caught again, Cortland Sutton out across the 40, brought down at the 42. Nick Cross on the tackle. 1st and 10 Broncos. My wife got me a symbol, a car symbol that I can attach to the dash of my car for when I want to tell dad jokes. It would have been nice a second ago. Another short pass. That's a 1st down. Right back to Cortland Sutton. 12 yards again. Cortland Sutton quickly, 4 catches, 57 yards, and a tutty here in the first quarter. Broncos now into Indianapolis territory at the 46-yard line. Here's a quick little button hook over the middle, and that's caught. Javonte Williams scampers for a 1st down. Down to the 33 and a pick up of 13. Broncos on the move. Safety up close, showing blitz for the Colts here. Colts look run. Nick's back to pass again. Short. This one goes to Marvin Mims. He's got the catch, and he breaks a tackle, and he's into the secondary. He's loose. He might go. Touchdown, Marvin Mims. 33-yard catch and run for Eminem as he got the crosshairs in the short pass column with the safety blitzing. And still in the first quarter, 4:48 to go. These teams are both 2 for 2 on offense. Extra points good. And we are indeed off to the races, a 14-14 score. And after a touchback, Colts begin again from their 30-yard line. Broncos coach commented so much for the defense. I would say that's true in this game so far. Broncos are ranked 17th defensively in yards allowed. Colts 30th. I'm going to double check that. I might have remembered those wrong. Here's a 1st down run. Pitch out left side. Jonathan Taylor. Defense was looking past. Taylor goes to his card, and that's never bad. Short gain, Jonathan Taylor. That's another 1st down. 13-yard run. There's an injury on the play. It's to Michael Pittman, wide receiver for Indianapolis. That's a good one. We'll get into that. Sorry about that. 1st and 10, Indianapolis at their own 43. Tight end offense. Broncos in a 3-4. Hand off tackle, left side. Jonathan Taylor goes to the defensive card. He's got 6 more yards. Beat the nose tackle with a 6 on the white die. 2nd and 4. Up near midfield now at the 49. Jonathan Taylor, 7 rushes, 62 yards already. Safety up close, showing blitz here. That injury to Michael Pittman. Pittman carded at 69 catches for 808 yards at an 11.7 average. Pretty good receiver. His yak is a D, though. 2nd and 4. Back to pass, looking deep and scrambling now. And running with the ball, Anthony Richardson, and he's got 1st down yardage. Pressure forced him to run to the left side, and he picked up 5, needed 4. Move the sticks. Now in Denver territory at the 46-yard line. 3:18 to go, first quarter. 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs now. First down, it's an inside run. Jonathan Taylor to the defensive card, and he's got 5 yards. Second and 5 at the Denver 41. Safety up close here, showing blitz out of the 3-4 tight end offense. Off tackle run. Defense guest run. Taylor on his card, and he's going to lose a yard there. Good call for Coach David Kukofka, and that sets up a 3rd down and 6 for his defense. At the 42. Not within field goal range yet. Got to get to the 39. Tight end offense. Out of the pistol, Anthony Richardson. Broncos set up in a nickel. Here's a quick slant. Linebacker stays home. Goes to Mo Alley Cox, and no good. Richardson can't get it on his card. And that's 4th and 6. Colts likely going to punt. They're at the Denver 42. You can't field goal, so it's either a punt or he's going to go for 4th and 6 at the Denver 42. Again, 1:48 to go, first quarter, all tied up at 14. If he doesn't go for it here, it'll be the first offense to get stopped in this game at all. Colts sideline still talking about it. And he's going to punt it. He'll cough and corner it, I'm sure. Good chance this still gets to the end zone. Rigoberto Sanchez has got a leg. Here's the boot. It looks like a good one. It has a chance to get in close, and it is, it went out at the goal line. I thought it was maybe at the 1, but the ref rules it a touchback. So a defense did hold. It's the Broncos defense, and with 1:30 to go, first quarter, they now retain possession with a chance to take the lead. From their 20, first down pitch out, and here comes a linebacker and gets Jaleel McLaughlin in the backfield. E.J. Speed, true to his name, gets behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 6 on that run call. It's 2nd and 16 now for the Broncos. Colts show a 4-2-5 defensively, another run here. Round the edge, and that's going to be good for 6. Right back to McLaughlin. Got some of that yardage back. Actually, only 5 is the ruling there. So 3rd and 11, Broncos from their 19-yard line. Kwity Paye, defensive end, best chance the Colts have of getting pressure on the quarterback in this matchup. Blitz rating at 10. Deep 3-2-6 dime here from the defense of the Colts. 4 wide receivers split out for Nix. Out of the shotgun, Nick's back to pass. He looks short, and he has got a receiver opportunity for Humphrey, and no good, incomplete. Little Jordan Humphrey doesn't have too much on his card, and that'll make it a 4th down, and now both teams will have punted as the Broncos bring out Riley Dixon from their own 19. And Dixon with a good punt here, 51 yards, and it's going to roll another 7. Or another 6, I should say. A 57-yard net's not too bad, and the Colts will take over at their own 24. As we do reach the second quarter here in Denver. Fast-moving offensive first quarter. 14-14 is our score as we head to quarter number 2. Colts again begin at their 24-yard line. Tight end offense. Richardson under center here. He spent most of this game out of the pistol, but he's under center. Broncos 3-4. Their outside linebackers are star blitzers, Nick Benito and Jonathan Cooper. Back to pass on first down as Richardson scans the field, looking short. Defensive card we go, and that pass is going to be incomplete and almost intercepted by Denver. Anthony Richardson flirting with the 9 result in the 4-man column of the Denver pass defense. Interception split roll 2 through 5 and 12. Got the 6. 2nd and 10. Tight end offense here shown by the Colts. P.J. Locke, the safety up close, showing blitz here. Here's a pitch out. Jonathan Taylor going around the edge, and he's going to beat the end, and good for 6 yards on that play. 6 on the white die. Helpful to Taylor's cause, and it's 3rd down and 4. Colts from their 30. Now Richardson operates out of the pistol. Broncos in a 3-4. Here's a look-in pass. 2-man in zone. Defensive card and incomplete. Almost picked off. Got the 4 instead of the 3, and it's 4th down and 4, and the spigot is turned off offensively. Another punter coming out to the field. Rigoberto Sanchez putting his leg into it. 52 yards in the air, back to the 18-yard line, fielded there by Marvin Mims. He's got a couple possibilities on his card, but it's a fair catch. And the Broncos will begin at their 18-yard line. We're all still knotted up at 14 apiece. Indianapolis Colts, as we alluded to earlier, and you can see here, part of a 3-way tie for first place in the AFC South at 5-8 apiece. Colts do have the tiebreaker edge with a 3-1 division mark. There's a first down flat pass that goes for 13 yards. Tight end Lucas Kroll on the catch. Bo Nix, 8 of 9 for 124 and a couple of touchdowns here early. 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line. And actually, it looks like that last play was ruled dead with offsetting penalties. So still 1st and 10 at the 18. That catch to Kroll never happened. Back to pass, looking short. And a opportunity for Mims, not done. It's incomplete. Mims had a receiver opportunity in his right column, however. So good call there defensively. From Coach Freeze. 2nd and 10 for the Broncos. Colts will show a 4-2-5. So only a couple linebackers on the field, a little middle zone eye candy for the defense. Here's a flat pass going left side to Marvin Mims. 6 on the white die. Does get us to the 0-man column, but incomplete. Mims on his receiver column right for the 2nd time on this series. Not good enough. And it's 3rd and 10. Back-to-back incompletions for Nix. 3rd down and 10. 4 wide receivers will split out here. John Freeze has his Colts defense in the nickel. Nix, snap back to pass. Looks short. Going for a Cortland Sutton. No good. Incomplete. Nice play on the defense out there. Nix missed it on his card. 4th and 10, and out comes Riley Dixon. 51-yard boot. Fielded at the 31-yard line by Anthony Gould. And Gould will fair catch it right there. "12 minutes remain, 2nd quarter. Colts now will get possession again. That injury to Pittman earlier is just for the first half. That's the only injury for Indianapolis. Denver is only missing Adam Troutman. Broncos have 3 of the top 5 blitzers, technically, in the USFFL. Jonathan Cooper with 13 sacks, ranks 2nd, I believe. And there's a bunch of guys tied for 5th place at 8 sacks, and that group includes Nick Benito and Zach Allen. Here's a first down flat pass to Alec Pierce. Receiver opportunity for him. Nice catch and run up near a 1st down. Pierce is good for 9. Nice pickup on 1st down for the Colts. They're at their 40-yard line. Tight end offense here. Richardson into the pistol. Haven't picked up the pattern on when he's in pistol and when he's under center. Here's a quick handoff up the middle to Jonathan Taylor on 2nd and 1. Taylor, the dice go to his card in the wrong column, and Taylor breaks through into the second level again. Good pickup of 17 yards. Crosses midfield into Denver territory at the 43-yard line. And Jonathan Taylor doing yeoman's work for the Colts here in the first half. 11 carries, 89 yards. Pro set formation now. Safety up close shows blitz for the Broncos. Handoff off tackle, left side, Jonathan Taylor. Running with his 6 blockers. Goes to the defensive card, and he's got 4. 2nd and 6. A lot of runs to the left side for the Colts in this game. That left guard, Quentin Nelson, and left tackle, Bernhard Raymond, both run block at a 6. Over on the other side, you got a 0 and a 5. It's up to the defense to force him to offset that. He might have been doing that. I haven't paid as close attention. We're right back in a pro set formation here. This time Richardson is under center. 2nd and 6. Here's a key on Taylor, but we've got a flat pass. This goes to Alec Pierce. Quarterback Richardson goes to the defensive card. Got a linebacker reading and beats that linebacker. It's a short gain. Good for 12 yards and a first down. Inside the 30 and finally tackled at the 27 is Alec Pierce. First down there for the Colts. Inside handoff, Jonathan Taylor. He's keyed, but Taylor powers through. It gets 5 yards. Defensive card reading. Beat the good call from the defensive coach, and a 6 on the white die was good enough to beat the nose tackle for 5 yards. Still in a pro set here. Broncos safety showing blitz. Here's an inside handoff. Jonathan Taylor, defensive card. He beats that nose tackle again. 5 on the white die and a 6-yard run. As Jonathan Taylor, with 8:24 to go, second quarter, has just gone over the century mark. 14 carries, 104 yards in this first half. Colts now in the red zone at the 16. Here's a look-in pass over the middle. Linebacker stayed home. Defense called run, though. Richardson in his wrong column gets a nice catch and run. Nice run down to the 1-yard line. He almost scored. Kylan Grayson in his wrong column picked up a +15, and it is 1st and goal at the 1. Full house formation for the Colts. 3-4 setup for the Broncos. Safety right up close, looking over the nose. Off tackle right side, Tyler Goodson, and that's going to be nothing doing. Tried to mix it up with a handoff to Goodson. He couldn't get it with 2 linebackers on an offensive reading, so 2nd and goal at the 1. Full house formation yet again. Inside handoff, Taylor. Defense guesses run. To the defensive card we go, and that's a yard lost there. 3rd and goal at the 2. Bronco defense trying to make a stand here. 6:36 to go, second quarter. Still knotted up at 14 apiece. 3rd and goal at the 2. Full house set again. Here's a sneak to the quarterback. Defense guesses run. Quarterback on his card. He can get just 1. Barely missed the +2 reading. Got a 4. Needed a 3 with those 2 6-sided die. It's 4th and goal at the 1. And John Freeze is feeling it. Colts offense stays on the field. Full house set. Richardson out of the pistol. Taylor, Goodson, and Granson. Here's the handoff. Taylor inside. To the defensive card we go. And touchdown. There's a penalty, though. And it is against the offense. Wipe away the score. Movement by the offensive line, and the Colts back up. It is 4th and goal at the 6. And I feel we will see a place kicker. And indeed, Matt Gay comes onto the field for a 23-yard chip shot field goal. 2 through 11, and he drills it. And with just under 6 minutes to play here in the first half, the Colts have retaken the lead. They're up 17-14. Touchback. Broncos will begin at their own 30. That drive for the Colts, 12 plays, 63 yards, 4 first downs, and a 23-yard field goal. Broncos start this with 3 wide receivers on the field. Nick's under center. He's got Javonte Williams behind him. Colts are in a nickel. Flat pass, left side. This goes to Marvin Mims, and he's got a 6 on the wide die. That gives us the defensive card. Mims, good yardage across midfield and down to the 40-yard line. A pickup of 30 on the play. Third catch of the game for Marvin Mims. He's got an A reading for Yak, so he's clearly being targeted here. 666s, we do have an injury on the defensive player, DeForest Buckner. That's a big injury. I'll get into that. 1st and 10 at the 40. 2 tight end offense here for the Broncos. Nick's back to pass. Looks short, going for Cortland Sutton and incomplete. Got the defensive reading interception split roll, but missed it. 2nd and 10. DeForest Buckner is a defensive left tackle rated 5 and the second best blitzer on this team with an 8 blitz rating. Not going to do much damage in this particular matchup as he matches up against a 7-rated pass blocker, Quinn Meinertz. So it's more interesting for how long he's injured after this game, probably. 2nd and 10, 3 wide receivers. 2 running backs. DeForest Buckner will be back in the second half. Here's a quick look-in pass to the tight end. Kroll catch and run, and he's got first down yardage. Got exactly 10 yards, and the Broncos are at the Colts 30, first down. So already in 2 through 10 field goal range to potentially tie this game up, but I'm sure Coach David Kukofka gunning for more. Javonte Williams is out. Jaleel McLaughlin back in at tailback here out of a blocking back set. He's got fullback Burton in front of him. Marvin Mims carded for 39 catches, but I'll bet he's pacing for higher than that. He sure would be, I would think, with an A-rated Yak. We'll take a look. First down off tackle run, left side, Jaleel McLaughlin. And he goes to his own card, and McLaughlin's got himself a short gain as he beats the linebacker and goes for 14. Nice run into the red zone. 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line for the Broncos. Broncos' second trip into the red zone. They got a touchdown last time. Colts have 2 trips to the red zone with a touchdown and a field goal. 3:36 to go before half. McLaughlin stays in the game here at tailback. Off tackle run, right side, and McLaughlin, nothing doing there. Pick up a 1 yard. And another injury, defensive injury to Zaire Franklin. 666s again. And Zaire Franklin is a high linebacker with the highest blitz rating after DeForest Buckner went off the field. Zaire Franklin will be injured for the remainder of this game. So the bad news is those 2 players are out. Good news is they'll both be back next week. DeForest Buckner will be back, as will Michael Pittman here in the second half. But Zaire Franklin is out for the remainder of the game. 2nd and 9 at the Indianapolis 15. Broncos have 3 wide receivers on the field. Colts in a 4-2-5 setup here. There's a pitch out run left side. Jaleel McLaughlin goes toward the edge. There is a penalty, however, and they'll stop the play. There was movement on the offensive line. So that'll back the Broncos up. 2nd and 14, now back at the Indianapolis 20. Been a few penalties, but not a ton so far. 2 apiece for 18 and 20 yards. So it's been a fair fight. And if memory serves, I don't believe we've had a turnover yet. Here's a pitch out. Jaleel McLaughlin goes for the edge and nothing doing there. A penalty, though, and holding against the offense. So another penalty against the offense. And if he denies the penalty, it'll be 3rd and 14, but he'll take the penalty and make it 2nd and 24. There was no gain on that run by McLaughlin, so the Colts could have gone for 3rd and 14, but they'll back him up. 2nd and 24, back at the 30. That's an interesting thought exercise. Not sure what I would have done there. 3 wide receivers split out here for the Broncos. Mims is in the slot. Valey and Sutton split out wide. Colts in a nickel. Off tackle run. And Javonte Williams. A little short run of 5 yards there. Just a little dent in the progress there. 3rd and 19 at the Indianapolis 25. As the clock now running down toward the 2-minute warning. This should be the last play before the 2-minute warning. Colts up 17-14. Broncos in field goal range, but facing a 3rd and 19. Here's an off-tackle draw. Javonte Williams goes to the defensive card, and he's got 5 yards. Correction, he's got nothing. Guard couldn't make the block. 4th and 19 at the 25 as we reach the 2-minute warning. And here comes a 42-yard field goal attempt from Will Lutz to tie the game for Denver. The dice roll, it's up, and it is just good through the left upright. 2 through 10, dropped the 10. And with 1:52 to go before halftime, we're all knotted up once again, 17 apiece. Lutz boots a touchback, and the Colts will begin their 2-minute offense at the 30-yard line. Good first half, tied at 17. Denver has outgained Indianapolis 164 to 117. Turnover-free football. Penalty yardage, just 8 difference. Both quarterbacks with ratings well over 120. The Colts come out in a tight end offense. Richardson in the pistol. Broncos showing blitz with their safety. And, Anthony Richardson's not the best playmaker. I see that blitz with the safety. I might be inclined to be chasing that crosshair tonight. Of course, to do so, you do have to stare into that heavy blitz. Broncos gets run. Here's a deep ball to Josh Downs, and that's going to be caught. Josh Downs on the deep ball, gain of 34 on the defensive card. Defensive back in zone, X or 34. 5 on the white die, delivers. And all the way down to the 36-yard line of Denver. And we have a hurry-up offense. So still a tight end offense. Just that fast. Colts right back in field goal range. 3-4 here from the Broncos. Anthony Richardson, a solid first half. 9 of 13 for 151 and a touchdown. A couple of deep balls to Josh Downs included. Downs split out wide right here in this tight end set. Off tackle, left side, Jonathan Taylor going behind his hogs, and he's got a good 6 yards there. Not bad considering he was on his right column. Good coach call there by David Kukofka, guess run. 2nd and 4 at the 30. Waiting to see how the Colts offensively, and Coach Freeze will play this setup, and they will call their first timeout. That makes it 2nd and 4 to 30, 1:22 on the clock. I thought he might choose the hurry up there and set that clock at 1:07, but he takes the first timeout. Might have wanted to reset his position on the field as far as the formation. He does so with 3 wide receivers, 1 halfback. It's Jonathan Taylor, of course, Anthony Richardson in the pistol. And Broncos will show nickel defensively. Flat pass, empty zone. This goes to Alec Pierce, and that's going to be good. 9 yards on a first down, tackled inbounds. That was on Richardson's wrong column because linebackers were not present. Those outside linebackers were blitzing. So 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line of Denver. Hurry up offense. 60 seconds remains here, first half. So we're still in a 3 wide receiver setup. Broncos in a nickel. Still 2 timeouts in the bag, 21 yards away. I think we might see a run here. Attack that nickel with Jonathan Taylor. And indeed we do, but the defense called run. Good call there. Coach Kukafka goes to the defensive card, and Taylor's got good yardage. First down inside the 10 and brought down at the 8. Jonathan Taylor, heavy workload here in the first half. 17 rushes, 122 yards. And the Colts are 1st and goal at the 8. And they take their 2nd timeout, stopping the clock at 52 seconds. And I got to tell you, I think if that were me, I might have let that clock run a little bit more. Don't want to leave the Broncos too much time on the other side. Tied up at 17, 52 seconds remaining, first half. Colts on the doorstep now, 1st and goal at the 8. 3 wide receivers on the field. Richardson out of the pistol. Broncos showing blitz out of the nickel. It's a run call off tackle. Jonathan Taylor, and nothing doing. Taylor had wrong if he went to his car, but on the defensive card, Broncos stuffed a couple of linebackers there, and that was the difference. Clock goes down to 30 seconds remaining. 2nd and goal at the 8. Colts burned their 2nd timeout. They've got 1 remaining. Back to pass on 2nd and goal, and it's short, no good, incomplete. Tried to hook up with Adonai Mitchell and defender extra 15, Riley Moss. Good enough to break that play up, and it's 3rd and goal. And the more I think about it, the more I look at the clock, the more I think I was wrong, and I would have made a mistake. I think I agree with the Colts' decision to have let that clock run back when I disagreed 3 or 4 plays ago. If I'm going to reach that decision, I should at least acknowledge it. Be brave enough to say you disagree and brave enough to change your mind when you do so. So 3rd and goal at the 8, big play here. Colts hoping to go up by 7. I believe they start with the second half possession too. Looking to double up here. Out of the pistol, Adonai Mitchell in the slot. Pearson Downs are split out. Safety shows blitz. Out of the nickel for the Broncos. Richardson a threat to get that must run. Screw the must run. He calls his own number. End run, left side. And he is brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Loss of 5 on the play. That went to the right column because a 1 on the white die. If it wasn't a 1 on the white die, that's a short gain and a touchdown run. So when you have 3 wide receivers and 1 halfback, that's a formation that turns your 1 on the white die to the right column rather than the wrong. And that was the difference here. So with 1 second remaining, Colts take their final timeout, and they'll set up a 30-yard field goal. Matt Gay, and that kick is up, and it is right through as we head to halftime here in Denver Home team trails at home after that field goal. Colts on top at intermission, 20-17. Coaches agree to take 5 minutes here at halftime. So we've got plenty of time to take a look at our setup. We congratulate Coach John Freeze and Coach David Kukofka on a really good first half. Both teams got out to a 14-14 start, with both of them getting touchdowns on their opening two possessions. And from that point on, the defenses sort of came to play. Only field goals have been exchanged. 2 for the Colts, 1 for Denver. The Colts do indeed get the first opening possession of the second half to try to build on their 3-point lead. Wow. Colts have outgained the Denver Broncos 286 to 187, almost a 100-yard difference. Broncos are actually better on a per-play basis, 8.5 to 7.5. Third downs, the Broncos have been blank. They're 0 for 3 on third downs. So bad dice or good defensive calls in those high-leverage moments. Third downs for Indianapolis have gone 2 to 6. Or I should say 2 through 6. 2 out of 6 times. So 1 out of 3 essentially at 33%. Both quarterbacks exactly 10 of 15 for 160 and 164 respectively. So very similar. But the running game is where it's very different. 18 rushes, 122 yards for Jonathan Taylor. Broncos have 7 carries for 23 yards rushing on the ground. And that's consistent through the season stats so far. Rush offense. Broncos 26th ranked rush offense, only 108. Whereas Indianapolis, a little better, 126.2. I thought they were a little better than 18th. Boy, they're only ranked 30 offensively, but they're having a good night here. Colts average 309 yards of offense per game on the season, but tonight almost got there in the first half, 286 yards. They have the time of possession by nearly 8 minutes. Coach is almost ready to get started here. We'll take a look. Sorry about that. Not that. Take a look at the AFC current standings real quick. And you can see the Denver Broncos right here as your first wild card team at 9-4. I'll have to look at it after this one, but I don't know. They get a win in this one, you start to wonder they're getting close to clinching a playoff spot. They're not there yet, but getting close. They can put another win up there. Colts, meanwhile, as you can see, your current division leader here at 5-8. The Texans and Titans are also 5-8 in their division, tied with them. And obviously, it's exceedingly likely that only one of these teams is going to go to the playoffs. Jaguars still fighting for the division at 4-9 as well, interestingly. Only division that's been clinched so far, you see it marked here in kind of a forest green. The Eagles have clinched the NFC East with their 12-2 record. Second half, almost ready. Gave the voice a little bit of a rest. There's our second half kickoff, and Looks like that kicker put it out of the landing zone, and the Broncos begin at the 40. I say that's interesting that the Broncos get the second half kick. Did I get that wrong? Ball possession. Boy, quarter one, it looked like the Colts. Yeah, that's right. I misread that. My mistake. Colts had the first possession, so the Broncos get the opening possession. Second half, they begin at their 40. Appreciate your patience while I work out what my mind hadn't yet worked out. Broncos will begin with McLaughlin in the backfield. 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs. 4-2-5 defense. And here's a deep pass, empty zone. This goes to Cortland Sutton, and Nick says, got that completion. Sutton up the sideline, and he's got good yardage. He may go, folks. And the opening play of the second half goes to the house. Bo Nix, Cortland Sutton, 60 yards. Extra point from Will Lutz to extend to a 4-point lead is automatic and therefore good. Broncos take a 24-20 lead on the opening play of the second half. Fireworks. That play could have gone for 87 based on the roll. That was a long pass right. Nick's on his card. Even though it was 0 man, it went to the quarterback card. And in his right column, Nix found Sutton for the house call. So the Colts, after a touchback, begin at their 30 and are suddenly behind 24-20. Third touchdown pass of this game for Bo Nix. Still 14-42 here, third quarter. And it appears that John Freeze, coach of the Colts, has decided that here in the second half, we've seen enough of Anthony Richardson, and Joe Flacco, the wily veteran, is going to get the call here. Try to lead the Colts to the victory. So Flacco now under center here in the second half. Pro set formation. Taylor the tailback. Still has 12 rushes before he gets to his fatigue level. And here's the first one of those inside run to him. Right up the middle and to the defensive card. There is a penalty, and that's going to be a hold against the offense. So not the way to start the drive for the Colts. 1st and 20 now. Back at their 20-yard line. And Flacco now comes to the line of scrimmage with 4 wide receivers splitting out. Downs Mitchell Pierce and Michael Pittman, who returns after missing most of the first half with an injury. Here's a quick look-in pass over the middle and no good. Flacco tried to hit Alec Pierce but couldn't get it on the defensive card. So 2nd and 20. Pitch out left side. Jonathan Taylor going around his hog. Goes to the defensive card, and there is nothing there. Broncos defense. Good to excellent. And a 6 on that die. Got nothing for Taylor there. 3rd and 20 for the Colts. 4 wide receivers split out. 3-2-6 dime, as you might expect. from Coach Kukofka and Denver. Back to pass. Here's a short pass. Adonai Mitchell, he's doubled and incomplete. That was doubled up by the linebacker. 4th and 20. Rigoberto Sanchez puts his leg into it. 49-yard boot back to the 31. Marvin Mims settles underneath it. And Mims fair catches it right there. And so the Broncos, with a 4-point lead, will get their possession again. Second one of the second half. 24-20 Broncos. Three wide receivers on the field, 2 running backs. McLaughlin's the primary. It's back to pass. Looking short, Cortland Sutton, another catch. First down yardage up near midfield. Brought down at the 47. Gain of 16 on that one. Cortland Sutton, 6 catches, 133, and a couple scores. And I think we got to see Coach Freeze starting to think about paying some more attention to that receiver. Back to pass to Sutton again, but brought down on a sack. Grover Stewart gets through. Beats his man, just a loss of 2. First sack of the game, 2nd and 12. Denver from their 45. 3 wide receivers split out. Javonte Williams is your tailback. 4-2-5 again from the Colts. They've been showing that periodically tonight. Little eye candy over the middle for that look-in zone. Covered by that extra defensive linebacker, flat. This goes to Marvin Mims, going after that A-rated Yak. And Bo Nix sets it up nicely. Yak opportunity. Mims, the dice. Get the catch and the run, and big yardage for Mims again. He's loose in the secondary, and he's got about 30 yards on this play. Let's see. Brought down at the 25. That is a pickup of 29 on the play. Down to the 25-yard line. Got the long gain on that Yak reading from Marvin Mims, as he has joined Cortland Sutton over 100 yards receiving in this game. 4 catches, 102. Broncos in field goal range now. They're already up by 4. Colts right back into a 4-2-5 defense. 3 wide receivers are out here. There's a button hook, all-out blitz. It's an empty zone, and that is a catch and run. Javonte Williams, first down again, inside the 15 and brought down at the 12. And so the Broncos into the red zone. 1st and 10, back to pass. Nix looks short, a little pressure. He's going to dump it off. Going to his tight end, Cruel, and that's going to be a catch. Not much there, 4 yards. And it's going to be 2nd and 6 now at the 8. Broncos have been to the red zone. This is their 4th time. They have 10 points scored. So just a touchdown, a field goal. 3 wide receivers split out here. They can get a first down at the 2 if they get 6 yards. Colts show a 4-2-5. Back to pass. Nix looks short and no good. Tried to hit Devon Vele. And that'll make it 3rd and 6 at the 8. And so the Colts defensively looking to make a stand here and force a field goal attempt and keep this within 1 score. 3 wide receivers split out. 1 halfback, it's Javonte Williams. Nix stays under center. Safety up close shows blitz for the Colts. Out of the 4-2-5. And it's going to leave it in Nix's hands and run. Nix around the edge, going for the corner, and he's brought down. He did not get a touchdown, but he got just enough for the first down. Needed 6, got 6. Tough running by the Broncos quarterback. And it is 1st and goal at the 2. Full house formation. Colts in a 4-3. Off tackle, left side, Javonte Williams, defensive guard, touchdown, Denver. 2-yard touchdown dive to Javonte Williams as the Broncos extend to a 2-score lead at 30-20. Extra point pending. On the field, Will Lutz, and he will put that through. There is a penalty, however. Actually, offsetting penalties, they'll make him kick it again. His card reads automatic. If I understand the rule book correctly, he could still miss it, but the odds are super duper duper low. Extra point by Lutz. Is up and as advertised right through. And that makes the score 31-20 at the 9:36 mark of the third quarter. Colts begin now at their 30, down by 11. Broncos on that drive, 8 plays, 69 yards, 5 first downs, and ultimately a 2-yard touchdown dive. So now 11 points behind. The Colts begin at the 30, 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs. Safety showing blitz. Here's a look-in pass. Empty zone right there, and that goes to the defensive card. Nice catch and run for Ogletree, and he's got 13 on that play. First completion, Joe Flacco. Colts out to their own 43-yard line. Plenty of time left in this one, and already 51 points on the board. Here's an inside handoff, Jonathan Taylor. He goes to the defensive guard, and he's got 5 yards. Beats the nose tackle. Been doing that most of the game. 6 on the white die that time. 2nd and 5 now, Indianapolis. Safety up close, showing blitz again. Joe Flacco is a much better quarterback card than Richardson, especially in the flat. I'm sure we'll see some of that, but might be less inclined to attack these safety blitz, going after the crosshairs and staring at those blitzers. But at the same time, a 3-4 defense deployed by Denver is good at covering those flats. Back to pass. Flacco looking deep. Empty zone. He's got an opportunity. Defense guesses pass. He avoids the blitz. Gets rid of it. And that ball's going to be caught. Flacco with a deep ball hookup. Alec Pierce. There is a penalty, so let's see who that's on. He got the catch and run to the 15-yard line and tack on a penalty against the defense. Personal foul. And so the Colts, with another 8-yard mark off, are now 1st and goal at the 7-yard line. So the Colts, really both teams playing some deep ball today. 1st and goal at the 7. 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs. It's Taylor, of course. Safety showing blitz. We're out of the 3-4. Inside run, Taylor, and nothing doing there. Call was for the blocking back. 5 in the white die, too strong. 2nd and goal at the 7. Here's another run right up the middle. And again, Taylor shut down immediately. 3rd and goal at the 7. 4 wide receivers are going to split out here for Flacco. Jonathan Taylor is out. It's Trey Sermon now in at tailback. I might look for a pass here to Michael Pittman. And indeed, back to pass. Looking for Pittman. He avoids the blitz. Throws short. Incomplete. But a penalty, and it's against the offense. So it's either 4th and goal at the 7, unless you want to back him up 10 yards. There's no value to that. So I think we'll see a declining of that penalty. And it'll be 4th and goal at the 7 for Indianapolis. It is indeed. 666 is again an injury on the play. This to a Denver defender, Malcolm Roach. So 4th and goal at the 7. That's going to bring out field goal kicker to try to cut it to 8. Matt Gay for a 25-yarder. Presumably. We haven't officially seen that call yet. But here comes the kicker, Matt Gay. 24-yard field goal. It is up and good. There is a penalty. And that's going to be against the offense. So back him up. They're going to make him kick that field goal again. Now from the 12. Still a 2 through 10, 2 through 11. And that's up 2 through 11. And that was actually the difference, as the roll was an 11. Wow. So the variable could have killed him there, but the field goal's good, and it makes it an 8-point difference. Broncos now up 31-23 as we reach the 6-minute mark of the third quarter. Broncos, after a touchback, will begin from their own 30. Malcolm Roach injured a little bit ago. First down, incomplete pass, and we have another injury, and that's to Denver's Nate Adkins. Malcolm Roach is a backup defensive end, 0-0, 2-rated blitz. Roach will be available next week. Nate Adkins is going to miss one more game after this one for the Broncos. That's now an offensive lineman. Adkins actually is a blocking back, so not as big a deal. Off tackle run on 2nd and 10. It's 5 yards for Javonte Williams. Broncos have a 3rd and 5 at their own 35 coming up. Tailback Williams still in the backfield alone. 4 wide receivers split out here on 3rd and 5. Mims has that A-rated yak. Using the slot on the right side. Here's a button hook pass over the middle. Tailback Javonte Williams. He has got the ball. It's caught, and he's got the first down. Just enough. On the defensive card of the Colts. Boy, 4, 5, and 6. Those readings read +4, +3, and +5. And that +5 got him exactly what he needed. Move the sticks. Broncos now 1st and 10 at their own 40. Nick's back to pass. Scans the field, looking at Sutton again, but too much pressure. Now he's going to dump it off. Tailback, Jaleel McLaughlin, pass to him. And that's going to be caught, but brought down right away. E.J. Speed bringing him down behind the line of scrimmage again. Second time he's caught him by the ankles behind the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 11. Broncos now have 3 wide receivers on the field. Mims is in the slot. Nickel shown here from the Colts. Look-in pass over the middle, caught by the tailback, but a quick tackle there. Once again, E.J. Speed, his 6th tackle of this game. So still work to be done. 3rd and 7 for the Broncos at their own 43. They need to get to the 50. 4 wide receivers split out. Nick's under center. Colts sitting the nickel. And it's an in-run quarterback. Nix calls his own number up near the first down marker, and not quite enough. Needed 7, got 6. It's 4th and 1. And they're going to go. So the Broncos leading 31-23 at the 3:18 mark of the third quarter. Go for it. 4th and 1 at their own 49, right near midfield, blocking back set. Javonte Williams is the tailback. They do have Burton in at fullback. Short yardage defense, screen pass, Javonte Williams, he's got the catch. First down yardage inside the 40 and tackled at the 38. Got the defense looking run, crossed him up, and a pickup of 13. Broncos now 1st and 10 at the Colts 38. They're back in field goal range. Defense guesses run, back to pass, looking deep. Nix going to Franklin, no good, incomplete. Nix in his wrong column. Good readings on 3, 4, 5, 6, but dropped to 7. 2nd and 10. Right on the fringe of good field goal range. Here's an off-tackle run. Javonte Williams, right side, and he's going to get no blocking. It's just 2 yards. So 3rd down and 8 now at the 36. Field goal range for Lutz of the Broncos goes back to the 38-yard line at a 2 through 8. So pretty good odds, but some variable risk from right here. 3 wide receivers split out for Denver. 3-2-6 dime shown here from the Indy Colts. Screen pass. Linebacker stayed home. We're going to the tailback. Javonte Williams. He's got the catch, but not enough. Got about half of it. It's 4th and 4 at the 32. Broncos bring out the kicker. Lutz, 49-yard field goal attempt. 2 through 10 if there's no variable risk. Does he get the variable? He gets the kick. That's the important part. It's good. The variable failed him. And that made it a 2 through 8, but he made it nonetheless. And it's once again an 11-point lead for the Broncos. 1:12 showing on the 3rd quarter clock. Broncos are up 34-23. Broncos 3 possessions here in the second half and 17 points. Colts led at halftime by a field goal, but strong surge here in the opening quarter of the second half for the Broncos. Colts begin at their 30. 3 wide receivers on the field. Again, we've got Flacco at quarterback. Safety shows blitz. It's a pitch out. Taylor, and he's going to lose a yard. Correction, gain a yard. Defensive card with a linebacker in zone. Tackle by Benito, 2nd and 9. Taylor now 7 rushes remaining before his fatigue, and here's another pitch out to him on 2nd and 9. Left side going for his double sixes on the block rating, hits his card, and that's a short gain for the running back Taylor. And a big gainer up the left sideline he goes for 19 yards, and that gets him up to midfield at the 50. And that's the final play of the 3rd quarter as we get the gun. 15 minutes remains in this one. Broncos by 11, 34-23. Colts now from midfield, tight end offense. Safety showing blitz, back to pass, looking deep. This one's going to Josh Downs, and he's got another catch. Downs with a big catch inside the 20. Brought down at the 16-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Colts right there. Joe Flacco just 3 completions, but 3 of 6 for 84 yards. Couple of deep balls. The Colts are in business. Pro set formation. Their 4th trip into the Colts, their 5th trip into the red zone. 57% so far, 16 out of 28. 1st and 10, inside handoff. Jonathan Taylor plows forward for 4 yards. 2nd and 6 at the 12, so the flat pass still in play here. Taylor still 5 carries left before fatigue. He's the tailback here with 3 wide receivers. Denver stays in a 3-4. Inside handoff. Jonathan Taylor going to get it on the ground again. Defensive card he goes. Taylor with a split roll opportunity. He plows forward for 5. Had an opportunity at 15 yards. That would have been a touchdown. 2 through 6 and 12 missed it. But with 5 yards, it sets up a 3rd and 1 at the 7. Colts bring out the Hogs, full house formation. 3-4 blitz shown here from Denver. Defense looks run, back to pass. Looking short, Kylan Grayson, and it got a defender reading, and he got the catch and a touchdown. There is a penalty. And it is offsides against the defense. That'll be declined. And it is a touchdown for Joe Flacco to Kylan Grayson. 7-yard pass, and it's 34-29. That is a 5-point difference here, early 4th quarter. So the question for the Colts and John Freeze is, do you go for 2 here and try to cut it to a 3-point game? Or take the field goal and a 34-30 differential? Broncos, for the context, do have a good to excellent run defense. Colts, for context, have a couple of 6-rated run blockers along the left side if they want to go that direction. Still waiting on the coach here, John Freeze, to make his decision here, as far as I can tell. Big game here in the AFC playoff picture. Make sure our coaches are still present. And indeed, we've got our play call. So here we go. 1st and goal at the 2 for the Colts. Full house set. You want to waste a carry here for Taylor? I wouldn't think so if you don't have to. That's probably why he passed earlier. Taylor just has 4 carries left. And again, short pass to Granson. Defense looks run. To the defensive card we go, and incomplete. And so, 2-point conversion, no good. And it remains a 5-point differential. Denver's up 34-29, and they'll begin after a touchback at their own 30. So the Broncos up by 5. 13:30 left in this game. It's always a tough call, but I think the chances to get that to a 3-point differential, I think I'd have made the exact same choice there myself. But an important drive for the Indianapolis Colts, getting it back to a 1-score game. Colts go 70 yards in 6 plays, 3 first downs to get the 7-yard touchdown strike to Grayson. Broncos now 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs. Colts in a 4-3, base set. Off tackle left side, Jaleel McLaughlin, and nothing doing there. 5 on the white die, not good enough to beat Grover Stewart. And it's 2nd and 10. Broncos again in a 3 wide receiver formation, 2 running backs. Jaleel McLaughlin, our tailback. Broncos not much in the running game today at all. 13 carries, 44 yards. So a quiet day on the ground. But Bo Nix has been dynamite. He's under center here, 2nd and 10. McLaughlin still at tailback. There's a pitch out to him. McLaughlin goes around the left side, and he's got 6 yards on that one. Defensive end, Latu, not good enough. So it's 3rd and 4. Broncos from their 36, so the Colts an opportunity to get off the field here defensively. And I play the Broncos twice a year. My instincts tell me, if memory serves, 4th down here, I don't think he'd go for it inside his own 40. But we'll see if it happens. End run, left side quarterback. And Bo Nix around the edge, and he got the 1st down, stretched. Needed 4, got 5. 3rd carry of the game for Nix, 17 yards total on the ground. Move the sticks, 1st and 10 at the 41. Still 3 wide receivers and 2 running backs. Broncos have scored on their last 4 offensive possessions. Off tackle left side, this goes to Jaleel McLaughlin, and he's got it on his card. Good yardage on 1st down, up near the marker. Picks up 9. The ball rests at the 50-yard line, 2nd and 1. Same formation for the Denver offense here. Colts have outgained the Broncos at this juncture, 411 to 374, with just over 11 minutes remaining, 4th quarter. Off tackle, Jaleel McLaughlin, and to the defensive card, and a short gain there for McLaughlin. Big yardage inside the 40 and down to the 36. Pick up a 14 on the play as McLaughlin now up to 43 yards rushing by himself. So 1st and 10 there. 3 wide receivers, 1 halfback now. McLaughlin's out. Javonte Williams is your tailback. And a 1st down handoff. Javonte Williams, and nothing doing. There's a penalty. And the defense with a little encroachment there, and that bails out a bad run there from the running back. Bad result on his card nonetheless. 1st and 5 after the penalty at the Indy 31. Field goal would put the Broncos up by 8. Touchdown would put a lot of pressure on Coach Freeze and the Colts. Good showing tonight from both teams. Colts in 1st place in the AFC South by a hair. I'm going to really enjoy watching that division roll to the finish line. I've never been one to complain about a team potentially with a losing record making the playoffs. If you win your division, you're a damn playoff team in my book, period. Here's an off-tackle run, and that's going to be 1st down yardage, I should say. Pick up a 5 for Jaleel McLaughlin, his 9th tote. New set of downs. Broncos at the Indianapolis 26. Now less than 10 minutes remaining in this game. 3 wide receivers split out for Denver. And Coach Freeze brings out the 4-2-5 defense again. And with a 3 wide receiver, 1 halfback set, I think Coach Freeze has to choose between covering deep or covering the middle zone. He covers that button hook. And indeed, we do have a button hook to Javonte Williams and a receiver result. It's catch and run, pickup of 8 yards. 7th catch of the game for Javonte Williams. He's got 60 through the air, 2nd and 2. Now into the red zone at the 18. Broncos winning the red zone tonight, 81% to 66%. First down, line buck up the middle, and good yardage inside the 10, inside the 5, and down to the 3. Javonte Williams got a split roll 2 through 8 to pick up that 15-yarder, and it's 1st and goal now at the 3-yard line. 8:42 left on the clock. 1st and goal off tackle. Javonte Williams, and he's brought down quickly. Nothing doing. Grant Stewart on the tackle, 2nd and goal. Touchdown here would give the Broncos a 2-score lead. 2 tight end offense here. Back to pass. Nix looks short and no good. Incomplete. Tried to get Cortland Sutton. 4-man column was good to the Colts defense. It's 3rd and goal now at the 3. About halfway through the 4th quarter here. This is a big high-leverage play. Back to pass. Looking short. This goes to Sutton again, and no good. Incomplete. Colts defense makes the stand. 4th and goal at the 3. Exactly half of the 4th quarter remains. Let's see if the Broncos take the chippy 20-yard field goal. 3 yards is a long way to go. 4th and goal. And they do indeed bring out the kicker. So Will Lutz is going to try to make this an 8-point lead. 20-yard field goal attempt. That's up. That's good. Broncos now up by 8, 37-29. Here's the kickoff. Fielded by the Colts at the 1-yard line, and Tyler Goodson gets that up to the 28. Colts will begin right there. 6:54 to go. Broncos by 8, 3 wide receivers. Taylor, the running back. In a 2 wide receiver set. 3 wide receiver, 2 running back set. 3-4 here from the Broncos. Flat pass, right zone, right side. We had an all-out blitz, so it's an empty zone. Catch and run. Pierce, 1st down. Colts out across the 40 to their 41. As Joe Flacco goes over the century mark, 5 of 8, 104, and 1 tutty. 3 wide receivers split out. 1 halfback now. So a little more danger in running Taylor, as we alluded to earlier with that 1 on the white-sided die. Here's a pitch out to Taylor. 2 on the white-sided die. Goes to his card. Just a pick up a 2. But a bailout defensive penalty. Broncos were offsides. Free 5 yards. 1st and 5. Indy at their 46. Taylor on his card hit that +2. He had a lot of other great possibilities. Let's put it that way. 26th run for Taylor. Or I should say 26 runs in the game, 156. Safety up close showing blitz here for the Broncos on 1st and 5. 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs. Flat pass. This goes back to Alec Pierce. Defensive card, and it's a nice catch. And that's a 1st down. 1st and 5. He gets 5 yards. Move the sticks now in Denver territory at the 49-yard line. Clock continues to wind down to 5:24. 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs. Colts know they're going to need a 2-point conversion, so in case they don't capitalize on that, they might want to score quickly. And here's a deep ball. This is going to Michael Pittman, and that's going to be no good. Defense was looking run, but it went to the defensive card. 1-man column. Got the 6 on the white die to beat defenders. But nothing doing. Found a soft spot on that defense. So 2nd and 10. 3 wide receivers, 1 halfback. Broncos in a 3-4. Pitch out to Taylor. Defense called run. Good job, Kafka. And Taylor is going to get 5 yards as he beats that defensive end, despite just a 4 on the white die. John Franklin Myers on the tackle. Apologies. John Franklin Myers is who failed to make the tackle to spring for 5 yards. So 3rd and 5. Colts from their 44. 4.5 minutes left. I'm sure we're in 4-down territory at this point. 3 wide receivers, 1 halfback. So again, the 1 on the white die is going to betray the running back Taylor on his own card. Three-four defense. That keeps the 4 linebackers active for the big 3rd down here. And it's an inside run. Handoff, Taylor. Defense look pass, so Taylor wants it on his card. Of course, not on the 1. He gets it on his card with a 3. Taylor, big run. 1st down and more. Inside the 30-yard line and down to the 26. Jonathan Taylor, big pickup of 18 and a clutch run. Clock winding now, under 4 minutes left in this one. 1st and 10 at the Denver 26. Taylor now just 2 rushes remaining before he hits fatigue. 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs. Handoff again, Taylor up the middle, and that's good for 5. 2nd and 5 at the 21. Clock keeps running, though. 3:18 showing. Colts need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, or they'll need another possession. 2nd and 5 at the 21. Back to pass. Looking deep. Flacco goes deep and no good. Incomplete on his own card. Flacco more of a flat pass carded quarterback. Flirted with an automatic pick on a 10. Rolled the 9. 3rd down and 5 at the Denver 21. A field goal does you no good here unless you're in a desperate situation. You take a sack here, I might take a field goal at that point, so a touchdown would actually put me in front. Otherwise, this is 4-down territory. 4 wide receivers split out. Nickel D here from Denver. Safety. Up coast, he's showing blitz. Halfback Taylor on 3rd and 5, but he's only got that 1 carry remaining. Do you burn it here? Look in pass. Linebacker stayed home. He's 0 rated. This is going to Josh Downs. Flacco, a good flat quarterback. Goes to the defensive card, though. Linebacker in zone. Beats the linebacker. Downs. 1st down and more. All the way down to the 6-yard line. 15-yard catch and run and a big 3rd down conversion. 1st and goal at the 6-yard line. Four first downs on this drive now. 9 plays, 61 yards. Here comes the 10th play of the drive. 1st and goal from the 6. 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs. Inside handoff, Taylor. Defense gets run. This is his final carry without fatigue, and he's up ahead for 2. Got that in his right column. Good call, Coach Kukafka. Defensively to call run, saves a touchdown, and the Colts will burn their first time out of the game. That's on the plus side of the 2-minute warning. 2:06 shows on the clock. Colts, 2nd and goal at the 4. They trail by 8. 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs. It's Taylor. He's now fatigued. Safety up close, showing blitz out of a 3-4. Back to pass he goes, and here comes the pressure and a sack on the play. Jonathan Cooper with his 14th sack of the year, and it comes at a clutch moment. 3rd and goal now on the 12 after an 8-yard drop of Joe Flacco. And we reach the 2-minute warning. In Denver, the Broncos up by 8. 3rd and goal at the 12. Colts have already burned 1 timeout. I think it's 4 down territory. And with that in mind, do you possibly go for a flat here to guarantee you get off 2 plays and 2 chances? Or do you want to go through 2 short passes and risk the pressure? That's what Coach Freeze is debating right now. Both defenses have produced 1 sack in the game. Jonathan Cooper and Grover Stewart way back in the first quarter. 3rd and goal at the 12. 4 wide receivers split out here for the Colts. Tyler Goodson is the tailback. So you know we're not running, or I wouldn't think so. He does have 32 carries at a 4.8, but I don't think so. Nickel defense here from Denver. Safety's up close showing blitz here on this 3rd down. So he'll give him that completion, had a chance to get him sacked out of range. Back to pass. Looking short. This goes to Alec Pierce. It's caught, and it's not a touchdown, though. He got 10, but a penalty on the play, and it's holding against the Colts. Mark off critical penalty yardage, and instead of 4th and goal at the 2, it is 3rd and goal Colts at the 22. Big holding penalty there. And that's really the difference as far as penalties. 6 for 50 for Indy, 5 for 41 for Denver. Been a really good game. 466 in yardage for Indy, 416 for Denver. So 3rd and goal at the 22. Jonathan Taylor's back in at tailback. 4 wide receivers. He's the halfback. 3-2-6 defense. They'll give you the run. And I think if you're going to have Jonathan Taylor here, you take the run. You know you get to have that on the wrong column. Give it a shot. He's a breakaway runner. He's told you you're going to get it on wrong, but no, we've got a flat pass. This goes to Alec Pierce. To the right side, there's a 0-rated linebacker there. We go to the quarterback, get a yak reading, and that's going to be a nice catch and run. Not enough, but a good pickup of 14 yards. Tackled inbounds as Alec Pierce. And that's going to make it 4th and goal at the 8. Waiting to see what we're doing with the clock. Did we lock up here? I just chatted. We'll ask the question. So it appears we're about to get our play in a second here. So 4th and goal at the 8. So this is it. This is the play, and Indianapolis has burned 1 timeout. And that means that they really can't get the ball back very easily. They've got to have this play here. 4th and goal at the 8. 4 wide receivers split out. Taylor's the tailback. Broncos show a nickel. And you can bet they'll be coming. The Colts all game do not have an answer to the star ratings of the outside linebackers. They do not have a blocking back that can defend that. But Flacco's got to flirt with fire here. To try to get this into the end zone and produce a tie game. Broncos come out in a nickel. Safety stays back. It's going to be tough to complete, really. But we'll see what happens. Back to pass. Flacco looks short. He's going for his tailback, Taylor. 4-man zone. It goes to the defensive card. Receiver opportunity, and no good. Taylor did have 2 opportunities, one on a 9 and one on a double sixes. But he rolled a 5, and that's a turnover on downs at the 122 mark. First and 10 Broncos at their own 8. And if they run it 3 times and punt, they'll get to do one of those runs with no resistance. Here's a 4-yard run up the middle to Javonte Williams, 2nd and 6. And the Colts do burn their second timeout. Clock stops now at 1:15. Colts still just one timeout. Broncos from their 12. Here's another inside run to Williams. Short yardage defense. And did he beat the linebacker? He did. And that's 5 yards. Sets up 3rd and 1. Colts burn their final timeout. And here's the game, folks. 3rd and 1. Pick up a yard, and it's going to be all over. Here's a sneak for Nix. To the defensive card. Nix can't get it. Defensive right tackle. Grover Stewart in the clutch. Makes the stop. Clock runs, though, all the way down to 22 seconds left. It's 4th and 1. So they're going to punt from their 17. There is no automatic touchdown showing, waiting for them. Here comes the punt, 46-yard punt. That's going to be fielded at the 37 by Josh Downs. And that return is it's a fair catch. So Broncos up by 8. Colts, 15 seconds left at their own 37 and no timeouts. Denver looks like they're on the verge of walking away with a big win at home. All right, just dropped the coaches a note. 15 seconds left, no timeout. So Flacco looking for a miracle. 4 wide receivers. And I think you got to go long on every play. For Flacco, I think you need like a 3 or a snake eyes to get that long pass right on your card. And that's what you're going to need. Yeah, you're looking for a 3, really. Back to pass, Flacco. Avoids the rush. Looking deep, gets rid of it, and it goes to the defensive card. 2-man in zone, incomplete. So 2nd and 10. 8 seconds shows on the clock. Four wide receivers once again. Jonathan Taylor back in the game. 3-2-6 dime, so he'll give you that run wrong if you want to try to attack it with Jonathan Taylor. And they do indeed end run. Jonathan Taylor needs it on his card in the wrong column. He got it. Short gain for Jonathan Taylor. Can he get out of bounds? Pick up a 15. Will get him across midfield. Does he get out of bounds? He does. Preserving 1 second on the clock. And so we're going to get one Hail Mary here. Broncos up by 8. The defense all standing at the goal line. Colts in Denver territory, but at the 49. Four wide receivers split out. So you either get the run to Taylor. Snake eyes for a run here is plus 58 on the end. That would do it. Or you attack the deep zone with one of these 4 wideouts. Downs, Mitchell, Pittman, and Pierce. It's a short pass. This goes to Adonai Mitchell. He's doubled by the linebacker, and that's going to be receiver opportunity. He's got the catch, and he's brought down inbounds, but with 1 second on the clock, it did not matter. Clock runs out on this game if there's no penalty, and there's not. Your final score from Denver. Home team brings the fans to their feet happy. And they'll head home with a 37-29 victory over the Colts under their belt. Broncos improve to 10-4 on the year, a half game behind the 10-3 Chiefs, who will face the Browns later this week. Colts fall to 5-9, lose their grip on first place in the AFC South. AFC South first place now would officially fall to the Houston Texans by virtue of their head-to-head win over the Titans. So the Texans are now in first in the AFC South by virtue of this game at 5-8. Definitely no post game for the Broncos. I don't think we'll see John Freeze, but we might. We'll take a look. Keep an eye on that until we get that finalized here over the next, say, 60 seconds. Let's take a look at where we ended up. I'd be curious if this was the best offensive output for the Colts this year, because they are the 30th rated offense in the USFFL so far, but they put up 506 yards tonight. Needed 13 more late in this game to get back into it. 425 offensively for the Broncos, so nearly 1,000 yards of offense for these two teams. 3 of 10 on third downs for Denver, 5 of 12 for Indianapolis. Game was turnover free. Joe Flacco and Anthony Richardson both were over 100 rating, as was the Broncos starter Bo Nix. Jonathan Taylor, I just noticed, ended up at exactly 200 yards rushing on 31 carries. Big game for JT. Pierce goes for 99. Josh Downs for 123. So a couple of receivers for the Colts put up 222 yards. And the Broncos get 100-yard games from their wideouts, Cortland Sutton and Marvin Mims. And here we are. We do welcome John Freeze to the broadcast. John, how are you doing tonight, my friend?
Oh, well, it's I live in Baltimore, in the Baltimore area. So
okay.
You specifically requested that we not give any spoilers for today's NFL action.
So I watched the early games that ended at 3:30. But when I'm done here, I'm going to watch Bills-Eagles. Haven't seen a lick of it. Don't tell me. And then I'm going to watch Bears-Niners. Now that I'm on vacation all week, I can take my time watching these games. So don't spoil those two games. Other than that, I don't care. I know the rest.
Oh, well, what was really funny is that I was standing in a store, and I looked up right at the moment when the Browns finished off the Steelers today, and nothing gives me greater joy than to watch the Steelers underperform. They are to football for me what the Yankees are to baseball.
Yeah, I respect that. I certainly know how I don't feel that way about the Steelers, but I sure feel that way about the Yankees. So I get the reference.
Yeah. So anyway, I look up from my phone just as it went off with the final score, and I look, and not 3 feet from me is a woman standing there in full Steelers regalia. And I just kind of gave her one of these. I just kind of looked at her. And she just looked. She said, "We did not want to see that."
Well, John, your lost dropsheet of 5-9. Good effort. Talk about what happened in this game.
Yeah. So this is the first time that I've started Anthony Richardson over Flacco in the first half. I'm always shifting Flacco and Richardson in and out.
Sure, I imagine.
In order to avoid the obvious, but
yeah, I referenced how they're carded at 16 attempts apart. So
yeah, and on this occasion though, I had already set my file so that Flacco would start, but on the very first play at the kickoff, I got the kickoff, and it was a touchback, and the game system loaded up Anthony Richardson.
Sure.
Which was not at all what I intended.
That wasn't the plan, but then at that point, you kind of had to stick with it.
Well, yeah, if I had put Flacco in as intended at that point, it would have been, a breach. So,
sure. Or you'd have had to stick with Flacco the whole game.
Yeah, and you can't do that. I mean, he's got a pitch limit of 23 attempts per game, period.
Yeah, and you want to manage that. You're locked in a three-way, at least coming into the game, a three-way tie for first place in your division, which we have up on the screen. Obviously, you've now dropped to third place at 5-9, but yeah, you're certainly close enough that you need to be managing those attempts intelligently, and so it's smart that you are.
Yeah, so I just don't see it happening this year. I really needed that one against an AFC opponent in order to maintain competitiveness going into the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, you are 5-5 in the AFC. That's true, but I don't know. There's still kind of a long way to go, and you're still all bunched up. You didn't even drop to the basement. You're in third at this point.
Yeah. How has
got the head-to-head sweep against the Texans, who are in first place, so that's a great place to be from that perspective.
Yeah, that helps a little bit. How did and I think the Texans in our league won this week, did they not?
I believe the Texans have not played, but we can sure verify that they have not played. They're going to be playing. They're actually next up, as far as unless nothing else gets scheduled. Tuesday morning? No, I'm sorry. There is a Monday. No, that was Bucks Chargers. So, yeah, they're next up Tuesday morning unless something gets scheduled at 10 a.m., and I intend to broadcast that game at this point.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, I've got the week off. I'm going to broadcast quite a bit this week. So
yeah, I'm working it. Oh, let's see, Tuesday. No, Tuesday I'm off, but I'm taking my granddaughter down to D.C. We're going to go to the Air and Space Museum. So, anyway, yeah, so – all right, so maybe it's not looking so dismal after all.
No, anything can happen in this division. I know you feel like you just took a tough one on the chin, but the reality is this division is full of guys taking tough ones on the chin. One of the things I said on the broadcast, I historically more about in real life than in something more for fun like this. I hear people sometimes complain about the odds of or the possibility of somebody with a losing record going to the playoffs. It's a matter of preference and taste, but I'm going to tell you mine, and my preference is stow that shit. If you win a division in the NFL, you're a playoff team in my book 100% of the time. That without it, divisions don't matter, and this division is up for grabs even after this game, and so I'm excited to see it play out. And I know you took the loss, but you looked good, and you stuck with a really good team tonight, Coach Freeze. You should be proud of that effort, and keep your chin up. You're still got the season sweep of the Texans. You're still in good place, and we'll look forward to seeing you as the season goes on, buddy.
Cool. Well, I'm going to shuffle off, so I hope you guys. I hope you have.
I appreciate you popping in, buddy. Season. I wish you luck next week as you'll be hosting the Titans.
I'll need it.
All right. Well, you have a good night, my friend. Take care.
You too. Bye.
All right, everybody. That's Coach John Freeze of the Indianapolis Colts. He took one on the chin tonight a little bit. Played it real tight with the Broncos, but fell by 8 points, 37-29. That's going to do it for us here tonight. I want to thank our coaches for putting on a great game. I hope anybody that got a chance to view it, I hope you enjoyed it. And Harlan as well, I hope you enjoyed that broadcast tonight as we pursue the ongoing quest for the Harlan McLean Trophy. That's going to do it. We'll return again tomorrow, I would hope, or the next day, with yet another USFFL broadcast.